Meanwhile, in the normal room. Wow, this room has lots of elemental bubbles! Hey! I've seen those bubbles before in a video game! You did? Where? Bubble Bubble! It has bubble popping fun! Oh! I know that game. It's pretty fun. It sure is. Look! It's a fire bubble! Oh hey! Yeah! I thought... I think I made it worse. Who dares play with the bubbles from the strongest emperor of the universe? Who's there? It is I, the emperor of the universe, Devil-One. Wait a minute. Devil-One? You? Emperor of the universe? Okay, I'm confused here. About me being the Emperor of the Universe? Yeah, that. Well, I'll tell you a little story. Spoiler alert, though. It might be dark and emotional. Alright, explain everything. When I was a young bubble dragon, I felt annoyed by my parents in favor of my older deceased brother, Lucifer, who was a child prodigy. At times, I got along very well with my deceased brother, and even showed admiration for him, especially when we went out to the balcony to eat barbecue together. However, because of everyone's attention being focused on Lucifer, I also found myself jealous of my older brother, sometimes wishing that I was an only child. And why is that? Because I want to prove myself and my parents about being the strongest. Oh, I see. Anyways, one day, while Lucifer was in his room, a rainbow bubble came out of the portal. It was meant for me, but neither of us knew this. So Lucifer picked it up and put it in my drawer, told me not to touch the drawer until I could figure out what it is. When Lucifer left the room, I, in childish curiosity, touched the rainbow bubble, and the portal pulled through into Bubble Luna. There, I met my frenemy, Bubbling, and helped him and Bobbin in fighting Madame Luna. However, when Madame Luna was defeated, she forced out pieces of her crosses in the form of the Cross of Fire. I pushed Bobbin out of the way the incoming cross, and it embedded itself in the back of my stomach. Bobbin and Bobbin tended to me for 3 weeks until I was well enough to return to the real world, where I found that it's the same day as I had left. This is likely due to Madame Luna's ability to warp time and space. When Lucifer came back into his room and found me holding the rainbow bubble, he scathingly berated me for breaking his trust and proceeded to kick me out of the room. As a result, I again found myself wishing that Lucifer would just disappear. And why would you want him to disappear when you did nothing wrong? It's most likely because he's strict and protective over me. I see. All the brothers can be strict sometimes. Yeah, but the next one might shock you. Tragically, Lucifer died after being hit by a car shortly after that day. I was distracted following the accident, suffering from strong feelings of guilt because I felt that I somehow caused Lucifer's death by my wish. What? Why would you do that? It's probably because I was jealous, I think. Oh my gosh, that is dark as heck! Sometime later, an email from a mysterious figure, later revealed to be Cleon, told me to use the rainbow bubble to escape the guilt and sadness over Lucifer's death. I did this and was transported to the Red Ocean. There, I dipped my rainbow bubble in the ocean, turning it into a red fire bubble. Doing so caused the cross of fire to activate, and I began believing that bubble as a place for me to shape and command as my own. From there, I adopted several aspects of Lucifer and very rapidly developed into a child prodigy, excelling perfectly at virtually everything that I should be super sure, whether it's an activity or a competitive one, such as music or sports. I even became a musical star, where I won many musical trophies with a 45. Wow, you must be very popular! Yeah, you really are! Thank you! I appreciate people calling me popular. It's no problem. But the next one will shock you. Why so? Because as the cross of fire developed and continued to influence me, I became heartless towards everyone and viewing everyone around me as pathetic weaklings beneath my notice. Really? Yeah. This leads to close the bubble before and after it. That's really shocking if you ask me. It sure is. Anyways, with the power of the rainbow bubbles, I decided to become the ruler of the universe, and my occupation, the Emperor of the Universe. With the power of the rainbow bubbles, I grew giant and knocked down buildings. I was unstoppable and strong. No one could defeat me, until I saw my mom and a new son, who would later be my new brother, Embodiment. My mom told me to snap out of it and return to my normal self, and I refused. But when my mom and Embodiment told me that they loved me for who I really am and who I was, and the mysterious reality he touched upon in innocent lives, I shattered the Emperor of the Universe occupation and collapsed to my knees and cried from the horror. My mom and Embodiment forgave me for what I did, even if it was horrible. They hugged me into my arms and comforted me, which made me feel better. Also, I've learned a lesson today. Being there for the family is more important than being the Emperor of the Universe. Aww, a family forgiving a son. That's nice. It sure is nice. Yeah, after what happened, I apologized to everyone about what I did and my actions. They accepted for me who I was, a strong and protective person, and that's how I began to trust others for their mistakes and see the innocence inside of them. And that's how I became the friendly and helpful dragon everyone knew. Wow, now I've completely understood your backstory. Yeah, looks interesting. But enough of that. Let's see who's the strongest. Challenge accepted. Let's put a battle!